Hey, welcome to another episode of Getting Random with Z.Singleton. Today I have a special guest with me. Yes, I am very excited as I always am, and it's okay. He is the founder, creator, and CEO of Black Label 1619. You see, I almost stuttered that, but I got through it. And so I'm gonna turn it to him because today is Origin Friday, and he's just gonna give us some love and just share his story about what he started from and pretty much how it grew to where he is today. And I'm gonna ask you, who are you?
What's up, everybody? I am Newton Ennis Henry Swader, the fourth owner, designer, creator of Black Label 1619, and it is my honor and privilege to be here today.
Yes, and I thank you so much. And on top of that, y'all, he brought Z Singleton something here that I definitely will be sporting. This is beautiful. It says Black Label 1619.
If you got merch and you're not branded and you don't bring her a gift, you don't have merch.
That's what I'm talking about all the way. So, where did it begin for you?
1972, Harlem, New York.
Harlem, New York.
Eight show?
So you know I never been to New York, right?
That's your life's a tragedy. Your life's a tragedy. You got to get on a plane. You got to get on a plane.
You know, the fact that I've never been to New York, yes, I wouldn't say my life's a tragedy, but I would definitely say that I am missing out, especially the fact that I love so many artists from that area. I love so many people from that area. So,
I always say it's the cradle of creativity and culture.
mm,
Ever since the Harlem Renaissance and probably before that, we've been turning out great poets, artists, authors, designers, everything you possibly could have. It's been coming from New York.
right.
Not, no offense to any other coast, any other city. I'm biased and partial to my soil.
Yeah, I mean, I am from the West Coast and we got some
Y'all got
popping
some,
people
y'all got
out
some great
here.
stuff out here.
Yes, but I will agree with you on this that history started in New York to me
Yeah.
when it comes to the arts, when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to just everything that we know today. So I'm not going to argue with you. So when you were,
That's where the hustle started.
uh huh,
I used to former R&B singer, so I used to sneak out the crib at like 13 to go sing in clubs because I needed extra money for Jordans. I needed extra money for we call them Uptowns, y'all call them Air Force Ones.
mm,
Um, you know, Harlem taught me how to be fresh to death. Growing up, my dad worked weekends, so I was with my mom.
mm-hmm,
Until my dad got home.
mm-hmm.
I was fortunate enough to have a two-parent home.
Yes.
So, but what I thought was punishment at the time turned out to be the greatest gift of all time
Mm.
because when my dad's at work, I'm with my mom. She's hanging out with her older sister and my female cousin. So it's three women against one little boy. So you know where we were at every weekend.
Shopping.
The mall.
You were shopping, yes.
So I trained myself, unbeknownst to me, in aesthetics.
Mhm.
I just always knew how things looked, and I liked the way things were always put together. And if you are a certain age, you know what the Spiegel catalog meant.
Mm.
It's this big, thick book, and it would come out every year, right before Christmas.
Is that the Sears book? Because I remember the
No.
Sears catalog was
After the
thickums.
After the Sears catalog, there was this place called Spiegel. Spiegel would give you this great catalog. I would always want to go to the toy section, but to get to the toy section, you'd have to go through fashion, homeware, flatware, dishes, all kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at aesthetics
Mhm.
every day. I'm
Mhm.
looking at what looks good every day, not knowing that it would later become a lifestyle and a career.
Right.
So it served me well in interior design, jewelry collection, jewelry design. I even have a tech firm where that vision and that eye is helping in the tech firm.
Mhm.
So, Black Label 1619 for me started in 2017.
Mhm.
I've always loved the date 1619 and looking into it and looking into what it meant kind of held a special place to me.
Mhm.
So I created this logo in 2017 that was absolutely horrible.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
I've always been able to keep it real with myself on
Uh-huh.
what looks good and what doesn't.
Right.
It was horrible.
Mm.
But I threw it in the back of my mind and I kept it. I had another fashion company called FaithWorks Clothing, and it was designed to set up to teach me lessons. Um, God just used it to teach me lessons. That company really didn't start making money until our 10-year anniversary.
Oh wow. Okay.
I had actually closed it at one point, and our 10-year anniversary came up, and it was right around the same time as another fashion company's 10-year anniversary. And I was like, well, if they can, have a 10-year anniversary and do something, we can too. So I relaunched it on our 10-year anniversary, and it started making money. But I also realized, oh, I have resources now. I have
Mhm.
some knowledge now. I
Mhm.
have all these lessons that I learned. So much to the point to where people started asking me to design merchandise for them.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, I'm not a designer for hire. But, there was one particular group that just kept asking.
Mhm.
And I finally said yes. And then I realized when I said yes that there were 9 people in charge. Now, you can't get 2 black people to decide on where to go to dinner,
Yes, you can.
but you want 9 people to make a decision on what's good or what's not.
Right.
So a year and a half later, I finally said, if you guys don't make a decision, I'm so pumped up about designing something outside of FaithWorks. I'm
Mhm.
going to go make something of my own.
Right. Okay.
They kept hemming and hawing, going back and forth. I said, all right, fine. I'm going to do this on my own. And I was looking through some old photos, came across that horrible 1619 design,
Mhm.
and said, I should do something with this. I should finally do something with this. And I began to really think of how I could approach it. And the thought process came into my mind of 1619 is the first year the slave ships sailed, making us the ultimate luxury commodity because only the affluent had slaves.
Right.
To this very day, we're still the ultimate luxury commodity, only now it's intellectual property in our culture. It's what we bring to the table, it's what we create, it's what we manifest. So I decided to make us Black Label,
Mhm.
which is the cream of the crop of luxury.
Right. Okay.
And as far as I'm concerned, this culture, hip hop culture, this thing of ours, is still the premier luxury item. We run the planet. Nothing moves unless hip hop says, "Yeah, we like that." And 9 times out of 10, it's we're over that. You guys can have it.
Mm.
So Black Label came from that, and literally from day one has been non-stop movement. I like to say I play catch up with this. I heard a comedian say, that second born child is
Mhm.
a whole gangster straight out the
Yeah, they don't
womb.
care. Yeah.
Black Label's my second child.
It just
Straight
don't
out the
care.
room. It don't
Mhm.
care. It's like, nah, I don't. You thought you had a couple of years to get it together. No. Day one, first design. Let's go.
Mm.
Our first logo. Let's go. Literally,
Dope.
before our first logo, I put out a teddy bear hoodie, and I wanted to take Ralph Lauren's aesthetic and just dirty it up a little.
Right.
So our hoodie had a teddy bear on it, but the teddy bear smoking a cigar, holding money in his hand, big gold chain on, all that.
Oh, so you were one of the ones that decided that the teddy bear needed to look hood.
Pretty much. Just to see what it would look like.
Mhm.
And I put our signature on it, which I did not like. I'll tell you why I didn't like our signature, which is this signature here. I put our signature on it, and a young lady stole the hoodie. She was cold, hanging out one night at my house. She took the hoodie, and 100 orders later, Like, well, I guess we got to keep that signature now because I
Right.
have to keep it uniform. Um, Come to find out, everybody loves the signature. The signature gave the bear a little bit of class, a little bit
Right.
of style.
Mm.
Um, so, now I love our signature, but I didn't love our signature at first because in 2003, I got hit by a car and I had nerve damage to the entire right side of my body. So I
Mhm.
had to learn how to rewrite. So this is my actual signature, how it looks now.
Mhm.
Before, my signature looked like you went to a cursive font
Mhm.
and typed it. It was pristine. This looked sloppy to me when we first did it.
Mhm.
Now I'm like, yo, that's it's fly. It is what it is. Um, I
It's
love
crazy
it
how
now.
things grow on you that, we are our biggest enemy and
Hmm.
judger. Like I always say that, like no one can judge me because I'm my biggest enemy. Like I'll judge myself 24/7. I'm so hard on myself and we
So
need to give ourselves grace.
here's the trick I learned. My dad used to tell me everybody can't be wrong.
Mhm.
Normally, when he said that, I was in trouble. Normally, it was okay. So the teacher, the janitor, the next door neighbor, the three people that saw you do it, and four people that we passed by on the way home that said you did it.
Mhm.
Everybody can't be wrong.
This is true.
So I adapted that to my life and said, okay, if everybody is saying this, everybody can't be wrong.
Right.
So if everybody is saying this is hot, it's hot. Move yourself out the way.
Mhm.
Forget what you think. Move yourself out the way. They say it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Run with it. That served me really, really well because in growing Black Label, there's been a journey in myself to discover me. Black
Mhm.
Label has brought a lot of me back to myself.
Okay.
And, I stop and I go, everybody can't be wrong. If everybody's saying this about you, good or bad,
Mhm.
deal with it.
Right.
Luckily for me, I've been getting a lot of good.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, I, like you said, I am my own worst critic.
Mhm.
I always tell people how the world sees me and how I see me are opposite ends of the spectrum.
Mhm.
You may see a confident, cool, whatever, whatever, whatever. I still see myself as the short, fat, dyslexic kid that just wanted to hang out with his brother.
Mm.
I have an older brother. He's 7 years older than I am, and as a kid, all I wanted to do was be him. As a kid, you want to
Yeah.
grow up. You
You
want to be
want
your older brother. You want to be your
yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
I
In
always
my case, you want to be, I don't know, Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah. So I always said I had Batman and Superman living in my house
Mhm.
because they were my heroes. My dad was Superman. There was nothing he couldn't do.
Mhm.
My brother was Batman. He'd show up, things got great, and he'd vanish, just like Batman. And it was like, okay, well, if I need him, he shows up.
Right.
Um, Growing up and my brother moving to different states and we not speaking as much and my dad passing away, I grew into who am I now? Who do I want to be now? And it really became a matter of I like me. I like me. I am creative. I am a designer. I am sensitive. I am a hopeless romantic. I I am a contradiction. I'm all these things that I truly enjoy.
Mhm.
Why not? So Black Label has brought me to a point of let's learn more about me. Let's get deeper into me. Let's
Right.
let's figure out who I am since I am a premium item. Since I am a luxury good.
Mhm.
What am I? And it's so dope because every day it's a new day. Every day it's a new experience. Every day it's a new excitement. Um, I mentor on the side. Actually, I can't even call it mentoring. I give away information.
Right.
Everything I know, I'll give it to you if you ask me. What you do with it is on your own. I don't ask for money. You ain't gotta pay me. Tell me thank you and keep it moving.
Right. And because there's so many individuals out there that want to hold that secret or hold that stuff in because of, I feel like it's fear that that person may be a little bit more successful than you if they take that knowledge and run with it. And to me, honestly, people need to understand that, you know what, there's always going to be somebody that is greater than you, that does something better than you, but it's okay.
See, my thought process has always been I'm going to win either way.
Mm-hmm.
If I give
Mm-hmm.
you the information and you go do what you have to do with it and you're better than I am,
Mm-hmm.
I get to say, I helped create that.
Right.
I
Right.
gave him the information.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the information and you do what you're supposed to do with it and you fall short of me, I still get to say, I'm here, but I'm bringing up somebody behind me.
Right.
That's the dopest thing ever.
I think it is too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is a true position of power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the ultimate flex. Yo, I either help create you or I'm bringing you up to make you better than me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've always thought you and I can sit in the same room and we can design the same product. You don't have my talent. You don't have my eye. You don't have my creativity.
Right.
So mine's always going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be. It's not saying mine's better or less. It's just going to be different because we're two different people.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Why would I, if I could help you not make the same mistakes I made, not go down the road that I went down, not spend the money pointlessly that I spent, why would I not do that?
Mhm.
You know, I always tell people I didn't have a me to ask when I got started. I would have paid money to have a me to ask.
Man, if I could go back, I think we've talked about this too, is that I feel the same way. Like at the end of the day, if I had the individuals who would be open and say, you know what, let me take you under my
Mm-hmm.
wing, let me teach you. Even now, I would still feel the same way. Like there's people out there that I know can say, hey, how can I help you? How can I, bring you up? And it's okay. And
Mm-hmm.
knowing that we all are gonna win, it's all gonna look different. And no one needs to ever feel like someone's trying to take their place because there's no such thing to me.
I actually had the thought process not that long ago. There's room at the top because everybody's top is different.
Mm.
Where you may see your top of the mountain, I may see the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
What you think is success, I may think, okay, that's my middle ground. If that's where you're happy at, that's fine. Again, we're different people.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'm not going to fault you or try to throw you off the cliff because you want to stop where you want to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You're happy there. Some
Yeah.
people, some people look at success as I have a house, I have a wife or a husband, I have a car, and we're paying bills.
And that's
success to them.
yes, that's comfortable for them. That's where they're at. Yes.
Other people may look at it and go, no, 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 I need a private jet, I need a villa in the Maldives, and I need every luxury watch I could ever possibly buy. That's their vision of success.
Right.
Everybody's vision of success is different. That's why there's top. That's why there's room at the top for everybody because everybody's not on the same top.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? If you are truly, truly creative and driven to be a success, when you get to the top of your mountain, you're going to look up and realize, wait, there's more mountain to climb. There's always more mountain to climb.
And it's okay to climb it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The hard part is you just gotta start. That's the hardest part I'm finding with people that want to be entrepreneurs, that people that want to move, people that want to get into something, they're scared to get started.
Mm-hmm.
So they start putting all these things in front of them like, oh, well, I need this, I need this, I need that. Everything's got to line up and be perfect.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Black Label started November 16th, 7:30 in the morning because I got out of bed and said we're going to do it. I didn't have a budget. I didn't have a business license. I didn't have a trademark. I didn't have samples. I had nothing except the drive to go do it. I knew where to go. I knew how to start. So I did.
Mm-hmm.
Trademark came, business budget came, everything came as we went. And we just turned 2 years, November 16th. In that first year, we went from having nothing to having a showroom, having products, having celebrities in the product, doing a high fashion show, being tagged in all kind of different stuff because people saw my drive
Mm-hmm.
and wanted to help. That's the thing people don't realize. If you are focused and about your business, there are people that are designed to show up to
Mm-hmm.
help you along the way.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are designed to go, oh, what you thought was a roadblock, I'm actually here to move.
Mm. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
Because I cannot tell you how many people I've had that don't know me show up in my life to help me push Black Label forward out of nowhere
Mm.
just because I was busy about my business.
Right.
That's what I think a lot of people need to get to is just be busy about your business. If this is what you want to do, go do it. Luckily for me, I grew up in an environment where what you thought didn't matter. I didn't care about what you thought of me.
Mm.
I didn't care about what you thought was fly. Harlem was kind of its own encapsulated place.
Mm.
You know, what they did it in Manhattan, what they did in Brooklyn, what they did in the Bronx, that's what y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not Harlem. So it gave me that level of, that's cool for you. It ain't us.
Right.
I'm going to do me.
Right.
Doing me, been kind of good. Doing you, it's got you here.
Right. Right.
Just do you. Just go be about your business.
Right.
At the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, you've already done more than 90% of the people on the planet are going to do.
Right.
Because no matter how much you preach, just go do it, people are still going to stand on the porch.
There's going to be that fear. I know, I remember just even starting this podcast, it's been a thought for many of years. I just didn't know what I wanted my front to be. I didn't know where I wanted to go with it. And then last year came up and I was talking with a friend and we pretty much came up with the ideal. And I was like, hey, you and I, let's do it. And she was down for it. And somehow we also got to understand that maybe it's more of our dream than it is the other individual, and it is fear, and it is people. And so then with my fear that I already had, like, oh my God, are they gonna like me? Oh my God, is my voice good enough? Oh my God, do I look good? Like all these different things are coming up. And then she's like, oh, there's her situations and everything. So her situations became my situations. And so then it was like, well, I'm not gonna do this then. Like I'm gonna
So-
put this on the. It's okay. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. And then it became, well, let me try to do this. Well, let me try to do that. And at some point, it
Been
became
there.
I wasn't doing anything.
Been there.
And so then, because I also want to work on documentary. So then it was like, oh, let me do this documentary. Then people started kind of helping me there, and then they kind of fell off. And then guess what? Who fell off? I was like, okay, no. You have to sit and be still. I learned be still. Take that moment. You don't need to be around everybody all the time and really think about what you want. Because at the end of the day, people are going to be here, 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 and you still here
So
thinking about what you wanted.
there were two lessons I took from FaithWorks failure.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson number one was it's not their vision. They don't have to believe in it. I do.
Yes. Yes.
Lesson number two was you can fail and still keep going. Failure is not the inroad. Failure is a necessary tool
Mm-hmm.
because failure teaches you, oh, I made this mistake, and this mistake. If I fix that, we can go further than we were when we stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of those people that I thought I needed a business partner. I thought I needed somebody with me. And I was like, you don't have to give me no money. You don't have to, like, I just need you here.
Mhm.
Like, I just thought I needed somebody to stand on stage with me.
Mhm.
And God told me over and over again, I didn't call him. I called you.
Mm.
I'm your business partner. Why are you asking other people to get involved in something that they're not made for?
That's it. Yeah.
Which led me to a recent revelation that your blessing may kill somebody that's not supposed to be connected to you. If they're not ready for what you have to offer, it may harm them. This is what happened. I have a habit of praying for homeless people. If I see them, I will just say a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never forget it. It's clear as day. My spirit said to me, you want me to bless that man with money without blessing his mind.
Mm.
If I just gave him the money that you think he needs, he's going to kill himself because his mind and his life aren't right.
Mm.
There are people that are connected to you that are falling off left and right because God's saying, no, what I have for you will kill them. You'll be able to handle it. They won't. It's the other greatest part about learning who I am is I've realized if you want to be a success, if you really, really, truly want to be a success, you have to understand, one, you're going to have to sacrifice everything. Two, you're going to have to be amazingly selfish.
Mm.
Three, you're going to have to learn to deal with isolation. Here's why.
I was about to ask you because I get the whole sacrifice piece. Like I really finally, after many years, finally realized like I'm willing to sacrifice the way I didn't at
Yeah.
one point.
Here's why. And this all came out of a conversation with a minister friend of mine who had a habit of saying, God didn't put everybody here to be rich. I'm like, no, that's wrong.
Rich can look like different things though. It don't have to be
It doesn't have to
wealth.
be right.
Yeah, not at all.
But here's the thing. Are you willing to sacrifice what it takes to get the wealth? It takes missing someone's birthday. It takes not hanging out on Friday nights. It takes not having a date for 6 months to a year. It takes being isolated. It takes. There is not a goal on this planet that does not require you to give up something.
Mm-hmm.
Not a one. Being isolated, people are not going to understand your struggle, your vision, your dream. And again, you're going to have to go, nah, I can't hang out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So people are going to be like, okay, well, you never want to hang out, so we just going to stop calling.
Right.
When in actuality, you're just focused on a goal. You're focused on a vision. And you're going to have to be selfish with your time. You're going to have to be selfish with your energy. You're going to have to be selfish with your idea.
Mm-hmm.
I guard Black Label like it's my child.
Right.
Black Label 1619, I literally came up with 3 rules of branding, which I tell everybody. Rule number 1, always promote the brand.
Mm-hmm.
I got that watching Russell Simmons interviews.
Mm-hmm.
When he started Def Jam, when he started Fat Farm, there was not an interview that he did where you didn't hear Def Jam, Fat Farm, Def Jam, Fat Farm, Def Jam, Fat Farm. Always be branded. Always promote. Rule number 2, always protect the brand. Don't let anyone or anything diminish the level of excellence that you've set in your mind for your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Rule number 3 is simple. Don't put the brand in a bad predicament. Don't do or say anything that's going to cause your brand to be a downfall.
Right.
Yeah. Don't get on television or magazine saying, hey, I didn't create this for this group of people. Like, why would you do that? That's just stupidity.
Right.
But if you look at it, Cristal, perfect example. We didn't create Cristal to be in rap videos or to be celebrated by the hip hop culture. Okay, cool. Hip hop said, no problem. We'll create our own. So Jay-Z creates Ace of Spades. Diddy creates Ciroc, buys tequila. All these
which is doing amazing. And the thing about it, nobody would have known about Cristal, or it wouldn't be
if it wasn't for hip hop.
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
Yeah, again,
people know how to bite themselves in the ass. That's what I know.
The hip hop culture runs this planet. Period. There is nothing that does not come or is affected by the hip hop culture. Nothing. Hip hop is not just a music. It is a lifestyle. It is a way of life. It is a multi-billion with a B dollar industry. And we created it from nothing. Again, it's what Black Label stands for. So, perfect example. So, Black Label motto, it's on our website. It's part of our culture statement. Sums up hip hop culture and what we stand for, I think, synonymously and seamlessly. It simply says, over the oceans, stepped off boats, created culture, we to go. Pain in the pen, but still we wrote. Royalties in my ancestry, no time to choke. Went from cotton to rocks, slave ships to yachts. I resurrected my throne. Never mind Caesar, all hail, excellence is home. Everything's possible. Period. There's nothing we cannot do.
Right.
We took the scraps they gave us as slaves and created what now is a $40 a plate delicacy called oxtails, chitlins, whatever. There are places now.
I don't do
like
oxtails,
I don't eat them.
I don't do chitlins.
Like, unfortunately, I'm allergic to pork, and I didn't really grow up on a soul food diet. But I have friends. I have friends that will go to restaurants and they'll order like oxtails and be like, "Wait, I'm paying $32 for these two little things." I'm like, yeah, but think about it. You wouldn't be paying anything if we hadn't created it. They wouldn't know anything about it because it was their garbage. Hip hop was a mixture of all these other different musics. I'm like, all right, well, cool. How do we make this ours? How do we make this something that we can celebrate? We created. DJ started scratching. DJ started cutting up break beats to keep the parties going faster. Something that we thought at the time was just fun.
Rhyming on the street corner.
Became a $1 billion industry. Has created clothing brands, has created tech companies, has created liquor brands, has created multi-billion-dollar people.
Man, shout out to hip hop.
Shout out to hip hop.
Jeez, man.
50 years of hip hop, you know. And I was lucky enough to see a lot of it happen in front of me as a kid.
What'd you see? I have to know.
You know, I saw Slick Rick rooftop parties. I saw Hef D. God rest Dwight Myers, man. And y'all got to stop playing with that man's name. It's 50 years of hip hop. Y'all didn't mention him at once. If it wasn't for Heavy D, there'd be no Fat Joe. There'd be no Biggie Smalls.
Man.
There'd be no Rick Ross.
Big Pun.
There'd be no Big Pun. Like, we called Heavy D Swag King Cole. Like, he was the flyest big man you ever saw. Period. And his wordplay was immaculate. 50 years of hip hop, and y'all don't even mention his name? Like, come on. But I mean, I saw him flow through. I saw young LL, brash and cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a chance to watch Def Jam become Def Jam. You know, you hear about, hey, yo, such and such is at the tunnel. Such and such is throwing a party at the park. Such and such is doing whatever. So you rolled up to see. saw Big Daddy Kane flow.
Mm.
I saw the Juice Crew move through and people like move out the way for him. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop was like I'm a kid, but I got a chance to see all this because one, I've always for some odd reason been in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
I've always found myself in the mix of people that are moving and doing things. Not trying to be, just wind up being there.
Right.
Two, I was singing. I was a little kid with a big voice.
Mm.
I was a little kid who could sound like Stevie Wonder or Luther Vandross.
You can sound like Stevie Wonder?
I can sound like Stevie Wonder. I can still do it to this day.
Oh, can you give a little bit? I just want to hear. Look, why did I go?
Wait, why did you do that?
I don't know. Oh,
like everybody starts doing Stevie, they start doing this. Like, stop.
Let's see. You know what? I've seen Stevie Wonder in person a couple of times. So we actually, when I was growing up, we went to the same church. So West Angeles, out in Los Angeles.
I went to West Angeles when we got here.
So like, I remember seeing Stevie Wonder there, and it's almost like it's just a rhythm that he has. Like it just seems like music is just playing in his head the whole time.
I got a chance to see Stevie up close and personal because my musical mentor and my big brother, he took me under his wing, became my big brother, and Dougal Chancellor, God rest his soul, legendary drummer, played with Stevie, knew Stevie a lot. Mm-hmm. So, I got a chance to see that. And I'll never forget, I was working with a producer. We wound up going to Stevie Wonder's studio in LA. They were working on something for the Prince of Egypt soundtrack, I think. And I'm there and I'm like, it's a studio. It's whatever. Mm-hmm. Until somebody told me it was Stevie's studio. Then all of a sudden it became very impressive to me. Mm. Because Stevie Wonder is the reason I got into the music business. I will never forget, growing up, I heard Stevie Wonder, like the Motown days, Little Stevie Wonder, because my dad only played old Motown, show tunes, jazz, Lou Rawls. Lou Rawls was my dad's man. That was it, right? Mm-hmm. So I've always had the habit of looking for something new, looking for the next thing. Mm-hmm. I'm at my cousin's house, and I'm not supposed to be in my cousin's records. Shout out to my cousin Z. She had Stevie Wonder's Characters album. Again, I'm into aesthetics. So back then you had actual albums that you looked at. Mm-hmm. I missed that because you got like great photos of the artists and the lifestyle.
I do remember that.
Like I missed that.
Yeah, so that you would turn and open up the vinyl and that you had all these pictures and stuff. Yes.
The Characters album itself was textured. So different parts of the album you could feel. It was like bubbled. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, this is dope. And I'm looking at the album cover Stevie had on this dope purple sweater. At one point he had on a pair of glasses on the back that I wound up buying like 6 or 7 times because I kept losing them. But I knew where to go get them. Because I'm like, I'm in my mind, I'm like Stevie Fly.
Right.
I put the album on the turntable and the needle scratched. It skipped to track number 4. If you know the Characters album, you know track number 4 is a song called With Each Beat of My Heart. Okay. I stopped and I listened to that song. And at the end of that song, I said, I want to do that. I didn't know what that was. I just knew I wanted to make someone feel the way I felt right after that. So I taught myself how to sing like Stevie, and I taught myself how to write, listening to Stevie. I went into this Stevie Wonder rabbit hole. I tried to listen to everything Stevie Wonder there was. Right. So met this guy named Anthony Cox, still friends to this day. He convinced me in a very, let's say, they kidnapped me and threw me in a room way to join choir. Literally, we're in high school. I'm walking down the hallway. I see him at the end of the hallway. Next thing I know, 2 of his friends grab me from behind. He grabs my legs. They take me to this room, open the door, and throw me in. And they close the door. The room is dark.
That sounds very traumatizing.
Exactly. I felt like I was joining. I felt like I was joining the mob. The room is dark. There's a piano. The sun is hitting the piano, And there's a guy by the name of Doug Griffin. Shout out to Doug Griffin. I haven't seen you since high school.
Hey, Doug.
Sitting at the piano, and he goes, hit this note. And he runs me up and down the scale, and I hit every note. And he goes, okay, choir's fourth period. We'll see you next week. I'm like, I got biology fourth period. He's like, we'll change that. Sure enough, the next week, my class was changed. Like,
Doug had pool like that?
I'm like, is this the mob? Did I just join the...
In high school?
In high school. I'm like, am I part of the Illuminati? What just happened?
Wait, where Doug at now?
I don't know. I got to find it. But I was going to get out of choir. First day. Mm-hmm. I'm standing there. Anthony Cox is there. Peter Morris, Marlon Kelsey. Those are my guys. They're all.
How you remember names?
They're all in choir because
everything.
we're still friends, and these were people that had an impact on my life. Mm-hmm. Because again, I'm from New York. This is L.A. I'm weirded out right now. Like, I don't really have a lot of friends. I'm incredibly shy. I'm trying to figure out what LA is.
Right.
So I remember those guys. We're all in the choir room, and I'm getting ready to leave. And I see some of the most attractive girls I've ever seen in my life walk into this choir room.
I tell you, that's all it takes.
And I said, yep.
That's all
I'm staying.
Takes.
But anyway, so I'm trying to think of I said all of that to get back to Stevie Wonder. My voice changed. So I had to teach myself how to sing like Stevie Wonder again and hit Stevie Wonder's notes again until I heard Luther Vandross, Freddie Jackson, Johnny Gill. And I was like, wait, I can sing low and not be, because at that point, the only low person I ever heard with a deep voice was Barry White. I'm like, I don't want to sound like Barry White. He's just talking. Like, it wasn't exciting to me.
Hey, but
Barry
Barry got it.
As an adult now, I understand Barry White is, Barry is Barry. But
I was actually about to start saying Teddy Pendergrass.
See, stop it. You was about to start singing Turn Off the Light.
Turn off the light.
So I taught myself how to do all of that because of this feeling. I design now because of that feeling. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a joy. There's a contentment. There's a comfort in that feeling of creating and being in that space. I always tell people, being creative is the closest you'll get to being God on this planet. Because just like God said, let there be, and there was, you're saying, let there be, and then there is. The sweatsuit that I'm wearing now didn't exist before I said, let this be. That's the closest you'll ever get to being just like God on this planet. I love it. Creating music is let there be.
Right. And you hit it a little bit as far as just your whole, like, being traumatized and drug into a room
it was
with the mob.
It was the mob.
And everything.
I joined the mob.
But what else did you do when it comes to singing, like writing?
Oh, I've ghostwritten for a bunch of artists. I've done some tours. I've done some stages. Of course, I've sang at weddings. Okay. My favorite wedding moment is my god sister got married. Kenya, she got married, and she asked me to sing "Overjoyed" at her wedding, and I had only sang in church. She had only heard me sing in church. Mm-hmm. She never heard me sing like on stage.
Right.
Church and on stage are vastly different. Mm-hmm. They're becoming more and more the same now, but at that point they were vastly different. And I will never forget. I was standing. It was an outdoor wedding. It was a night wedding. I was dressed in all black. I was standing in the shadow, and I started singing.
This is from my homie.
Yeah, I started singing this from home. I started singing Overjoyed, and all I can remember is looking at my mom and her telling me, move, come forward. And it was almost like, it was a sitcom. Uh, I stepped forward into the light as I was singing. I only know this because I saw a videotape. I stepped forward into the light as I was singing. It looked like, it was produced that way.
Right.
That was my favorite wedding, but I've done a lot musically. I started singing when I was 13. Um, I got out the business and said I'm done at like 24.
What? Why 24? I mean, 13 to 24 is a long time.
I got tired of chasing money. I got tired of chasing people for my money.
Mm.
I got tired of people telling me, "Oh, I can do A, B, and C," when they only knew somebody at the mailroom at some record company.
Mm.
And I was at that point, I was just tired of the whole thing. Like I was tired of being in the spot. I was tired of being in the spotlight. I was tired of getting stared at. I was just tired. I needed a change in life, and I started doing interior design
Okay.
because my mom was like, "You're good at it. You can walk into a room and it could be empty, but you see something different."
Hmm.
And you I'm tired of you changing my house every other week. um,
Well, it starts with your mom or your parents when
so
you have the ideal, right?
literally, my mom pimped me out.
Oh my.
Literally, she started telling her friends, "Oh yeah, he can do this. All you gotta do is, give him some change. He'll show up at your house and do this." So I would go to somebody's house and clean it, throw away clutter, rearrange their home, get some cash, and leave. And my
Oh.
mom was like, "I told you, you're good at this. Go do it."
Hmm.
And I got a lucky break. I met a realtor who let me start doing staging
Hmm.
for her, and you know, the rest of that is history. But after that, I'd never looked back at music again until 2019, 2020. I said, I think I might kind of want to touch a stage again here and there. So, I show up. Somebody asked me to show up and sing. I show up and sing now.
Hmm.
But before it was like, nah, I'm done with that.
Right.
I'm done with that. But you did ask me to do something. I went all the way around the Marbury
I mean,
Bush
we were
to go
eventually gonna get back to where we need to
to go.
be.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see.
It's random, right?
And no, they say it's improbable. What do they know? Poor and romance. All true love needs is a chance. And maybe with the chance you will find you too, like I'm overjoyed, over love, over me. It's early in the morning. You asking me to sing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's early in the
Okay.
morning. Right now, I got the deep, raspy voice. Right now, I could do Luther right now. Just with, I could do Luther with E. Yeah, I could do Luther with E. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you because I know that there's a lot that it takes to be a boss, to be a CEO,
I
to
hate
be
that term.
the boss.
I hate boss.
You hate boss.
Everybody's a boss, and
Everybody.
I'm like, if you're a real boss, you're not telling people you're a boss. You're just
no, it just
doing what you
it
do.
flies off of you, like it just hits everything.
Like you're just doing what you do.
You could walk down the street and someone's like, "It's something about that energy. Is it the cologne?" Like you.
Yeah,
different things.
like that term. I've always hated. I've hated boss, and I've always hated pimp. I always thought pimp was an insult because I knew real pimps.
Ooh, okay, that's a whole nother segment.
Yeah, I knew real pimps, and I'm like, I never wanted to be that.
So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna ask you this. What do you do for your self-care to help you every single day continue to do what you need to do to strive? I know motivation, ambition, this is your baby, you're gonna make sure it happens, but we have our draining points.
It all starts with prayer.
Okay.
Then it starts with being selfish. And people need to realize being selfish is not a bad thing. I tell people all the time, I'm a selfish bastard. Because if I do something for you, I did it because I wanted to see you smile. That's a selfish thing. I also realize I can't pour into you if I'm empty.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be a little selfish to fill myself up.
Right.
So, there's that. I run about 5 miles every other day, maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
3 o'clock in the morning, no phone, um, no email, no nothing.
That's the trust of the Lord.
But at 3 o'clock in the morning, you got to think about it. No one else is up.
Except for the freaks.
No one else is asking you anything. No one's calling you.
Right.
No one's dependent upon you.
Right.
You don't have to be a CEO. You don't have to be a boss. You don't have to be A, B, or C. At this moment, all you have to do is run. And I've learned that 5 mile run, I get to work through a lot of things in my head. At the end of that 5 mile run, I got answers now. And I'm up. I'm motivated. I'm energized. So by the time my phone does start ringing, by the time I walk into my office, by the time I'm looking at emails, I already conquered me. The rest of the day is easy.
Right.
There's that. There's a cigar at least once a week. I started smoking cigars regularly like that 2020 because I realized the cigar I like is a 70 gauge Maduro, but I realized it's an hour and a half to a 2 hour smoke.
Mm-hmm.
That means for an hour and a half to 2 hours, I have to be still. I can't be doing whatever I'm used to doing.
Mm-hmm. I
have to sit here and enjoy this. And yeah, there are times when I'm like, I'm sick of this cigar. I want to go do A, B, and C. And I've learned to make myself know you're going to sit here. You're going to be in this moment. You're going to enjoy this. Mm-hmm. Relax. What you aren't doing right now, it'll get done. Mm-hmm. And then, there's my favorite, absolute all-time favorite pastime, shopping. I actually had a friend of mine tell me once, you love brands so much that you created one. Mm. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to create a couple others too.
Right.
Yeah. At one point, I had a jewelry company. We had a jewelry brand. Black Label is its own brand. There's a Remnant Stories is my film and television brand. I'm in the middle of writing a book, which is going to become a teaching brand. I guess I do love brands.
Right. You like branding yourself.
But that is one of my favorite things to do. I don't even buy anything. It's twofold. One, I'm getting in contact with the kid that spent every Saturday at the mall with his mom, his aunt, and his cousin. Mm-hmm. Two, I'm just looking at aesthetics all over again. So I'm literally just still feeding that same thing that fed me as a child that I didn't know was feeding me.
Right.
Now, if I buy something, it's a good day. If I don't, I still got fed. I still have fun. I'm just hanging out.
Right.
I make time to go enjoy myself. That's kind of my self-care routine other than exfoliating. You got to keep the skin right. That's why people don't believe I'm 51, about to be 52 in February.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
February
wow.
7th, I'll be 52.
You're Aquarius?
Yes, sir. Greatest sign on the planet.
No.
Remember, you have a season.
Capricorn.
You're still living in the age of Aquarius.
We begin and we end.
Yeah, a year. Yeah, you begin an year. But it's still the age of Aquarius. You still got 100 more years to deal with Aquarians before you get to have whatever it is y'all gonna have after that.
Okay. All right. You know what?
We let y'all have y'all seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's this season, that season, whatever. Y'all still living in the age of Aquarius.
Yeah. Go.
Okay?
Go ahead and go swim in that sea.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and remember, we're the water bearers. Mm-hmm. Nothing can exist without us. If we pour out too little, you die of thirst. If we pour out too much, you drown. Be nice to an Aquarian. You never know what they carry.
What you carrying? Hold on. You know that the way you say that, that can mean a whole lot of things, and I don't want
Holla
nothing.
at your
I
boy.
don't want nothing nobody carrying. That's for
In the
sure.
words of Stephen A. Smith, holla at your boy, dog.
Well, you know what? I just want to thank you for coming and being with me, and I hope that you will be with me
This is my
again.
honor, my pleasure. Whenever you want me, I'm here.
That's what's up.
Go to blacklabel.com.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. Let me
Thank
get that correct. It's www.blacklabel1619.com. I'm actually extremely proud of the website. I built it myself. If you saw the Faith Works website and you saw Black Label, you would think I hired somebody. That's the difference. It's night and day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's your IG?
IG, Black Label 1619, and Newton Ennis Henry Swader the fourth. Those are two separate. I suggest you follow them both because sometimes I post things on one that I will not post on the other.
Ah.
Smart. Also, remember one thing. Always remember one thing. I don't care what business you're in.
Mhm.
I don't care what business you strive to be in. You are in the marketing business. At the end of the day, you are here to market yourself, your product, your brand. If we don't know about it, we can't support it. Tell a friend to tell a friend that told a friend. It's that simple.
That's simple, and hopefully you rolling with some really good friends that are gonna make sure they make it happen for you, with you. So I also want to say for you guys who want to follow me on IG, I don't think I've ever said this before. It is I am G Singleton. I'm a G. I am Z
Capital G,
Singleton.
not the small one, neither.
I am Z Singleton on IG. And also, you can follow me on TikTok, Nespug. That's a little different, y'all. I just go a little goofy on that one, which is fine. So it's a part of me. And so again, once again,
I also
Mr.
have to shout out
Oh, shout out now.
a couple of
Okay.
things. One, this is our anniversary hoodie. It's a whole sweatsuit with custom painted cuffs. We're only doing 100 of them to celebrate our 2-year anniversary.
Mhm.
They will be available top of the year.
Okay.
People love the designs. People love the message, all of that. I stake and bank our reputation on the feel, the comfort, and the quality. I haven't had anybody yet tell me, oh my God, this doesn't feel good. Everybody has always said, oh my God, this is really well made. This feels great. I'm a texture person. Every piece of clothing that has ever come from Black Label has gone through my hands first.
Okay.
Stake our reputation on it. Shout out to my guy Greg with Fit Spider. He's part of Remnant Technologies. Um, really proud of him. We're developing an app. Well, he's developed an app. We're just helping him brand and market it. It's amazing. Reflective Technologies is coming out with something that is going to revolutionize your entire life next year.
Okay.
Shout out
2024 sounds big.
Shout out to Tiffany Smith, above Rise Above Entertainment. She is definitely the plug. I call her for everything. Again, somebody that didn't know me from Adam, met me, wanted to jump in and help.
Okay.
You know,
Shout out to Tiffany. What's up, Tiff? Oh,
you know,
I don't even know you.
you don't want to do that because I call
Hi,
her the hit
Tiffany.
woman. You know, like she'll show up. For some reason, I keep finding myself in mafia situations. I don't know what this
Yeah,
is.
I think that's another thing you need to do at 3 a.m. Try to figure out why you end up in mafia situations.
I think because the mafia takes care of its own.
Ah, and
Mafioso.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
and again, shout out to hip hop. If it
yes.
wasn't for hip hop, honestly, truly, where would any of us be? Think about it.
I don't want to think about it. I don't think we're meant to think about it. I think we just got to appreciate the history of it and what it continues to do for us. So I have to end it here. Again,
It's
thank
been
you
my
so
pleasure.
much. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you for watching.
I
And
appreciate you for giving me headphones that fit my big head.
definitely, if you like, please subscribe. show me some love. Give me your information. I want to know what's going on, what you guys think about the episodes from today and from every Friday that exists. So, again, join us next Friday, 12 p.m., another episode. Who knows origin? Who knows expertise? Who knows random? I don't know. But till then,
Supporter, y'all.
yes, till then, spread love, give love, and just stay random. See you.
Peace.